The day is finally here. The day that I finally paid off my lease purchase program that I have on my truck. The carrier that I'm with, they're out of Chicago, and as hard as it is to believe that there are good carriers in Chicago, they provide a lease purchase program that has allowed me to become an owner-operator with only 6 months of being an over-the-road truck driver. So back in 2020, I decided to drive over the road. I was doing local, and 6 months later, they allowed me to do one of their lease purchase programs. They're not all the same. They're not equal. Some are good, some are bad. But it is your job and responsibility to figure out which ones are the good ones and bad ones. And that's where a lot of truck drivers get into trouble with. They don't know what to look out for. They don't know the red flags, which majority of the mega carriers, majority, not all of them, they are not set up for truck drivers to succeed as owner-operators in their program. So let's talk about a little bit the truck that I have. So I have a 2016 Freightliner Cascadia. When I first started as a company driver, it had around 440,000 miles. By the time I decided to purchase it, it had around 500,000. And from then till now, it has 915,000 miles on it. That's on the motor. It's a 2016 Freightliner Cascadia, DD15, Detroit engine, Evolution. But over the past 4 years, I have put a pretty good amount of miles on it. Almost 500,000 miles within 4 years. I've ran a crap load of miles. So the way my payments were set up was, so total for the truck, which was 4 years ago, this was before the boom and prices would start to go up. I got in at the perfect time. I didn't even know what was going on, what was happening. I couldn't predict the future either, but I got so lucky that I decided to buy the truck at the perfect time, because if I would have waited a couple months ago, you better believe my carrier would have raised the price of the truck, because everything, you know, they sell trucks, trailers, equipment, so they try to do a market value of how the prices is going, you know, according to the industry. So that's how they price out their trucks when they're selling it to their truck drivers. So when I got in, when I became an owner operator was in 2021, February 15 was the official sign date of this lease purchase. But when I got in, that was before the boom happened. And the price of the truck, which is the 2016 Freightliner Cascadia, around 500,000 miles, they sold it to me for a little under 62,000. So they had me, the way the contract was set up was $1,529, so $1,500 per month for 34 months. And I did have a $10,000 down payment. So there's a lot of companies that don't require you to do a down payment. But those are the companies that are bad for you. I'm telling you right now, no down payment, red flags automatically. And that's a whole discussion for a different day. But they required me to do a $10,000 deposit, which at the time I didn't have the money. I had to borrow the money, and then I had to pay it back. But that's how I was able to become an owner-operator from only being able to drive over the road 6 months, by doing a lease purchase program. You know, like I said, you have to be very careful in what type of program that you're signing, because carriers out here are looking to scam you out. They're looking to see who the next victim is. They're not looking out for you as a truck driver. They don't know you. They don't care about you. You're just another number to them. You're just a driver that's going to fill up their seat. You're just the person that's going to be making their payments, because that's officially what you're doing. Carriers buy trucks. So I have a truck. I'm like, okay, I don't want to pay for this truck. So what can I do? Oh, you know what I can do? I can hire a truck driver, sell him a fake dream that he can become his own boss. He can become an owner operator. He can start a business. I'm gonna sell him this dream. So what ends up happening, there's the truck driver that wants to be an owner operator so bad, but he doesn't know anything about business. Is gonna go ahead and sign off this contract with this carrier, And at the end, when it's getting towards the end of the lease purchase agreement, the carrier has not had to have made any payments on that truck. So the truck driver has been stuck making the payments. But the way that they have it set up is towards the end of the agreement, the carrier is going to want the truck driver to default on their payments. So basically, return the truck back to the carrier. And that's how they get most truck drivers. They sell them this dream, they make them sign a contract, and then right before they finish paying off their truck, they make them, basically force them to default on their agreement, which makes them have to return the truck to the carrier. So if I'm the carrier doing that to you, you know, that's in my benefit, because I didn't have to worry about no truck payment. I didn't have to worry about no maintenance, no issues that happen to it. You are responsible for that. So a year before you finish paying off the lease purchase, I'm gonna be like, okay, you know, he has 12 months left, but what can I do for him not to make his payments? You know, can I make him not run as hard? You know, give him crappy loads, tell him that there's no loads at all for him to haul. So little by little, they're gonna be doing that towards the end of the lease purchase agreement, which in turn is gonna make you have to return the equipment because you can't afford the payments anymore. And now I'm the carrier, and now I have this truck that I can do the same thing over again to a different person. Not only that, that's how these carriers make money, by charging you a percentage to being leased onto them. So the carrier I'm with, they charge me 12%, which 12% is probably the best percentage a carrier can charge you. I've seen them 15, 20, I've seen them, they go up all the way up to 35%, which, you know, it all entails of different things of who pays for what, insurance, fuel cards, etc., stuff like that. But the best possible outcome you want for yourself as the owner operator is you want to be in charge of everything as much as you can. When the carrier is in charge of you, they're gonna hold you to certain things that you are not going to like. For example, like fuel cards. Some carriers make you use their fuel card. Okay, but I want to use my own fuel cards. Why? Because I dictate where I fuel, you know, where the price of it. Because a lot of carriers, for example, they make you only use the Flying J's and Pilots. So you're restricted to only use those truck stops. And we all know the mega truck stops, the fuel prices are pretty expensive. But if I'm the owner operator and then I get to dictate where I'm going to fill up at, I can reduce my fuel cost significantly. Like I'm telling you, hundreds, possibly even hundreds a month, thousands a year. And you get a lot of fuel discounts with depending what fuel card that you get. The carriers fuel cards, they give you 0 discounts. Not all of them, but most that I've seen, they don't give you no discounts at all. Not even the minimum 12-cent discount. And if I use my fuel card that I have, which is mud flap with an RTS, I use both of them, you know, I get different fuel discounts at different places. But so just be careful, just watch out for that. You know, it's the little things that are going to add up at the end of it all that's going to make you default on your payments. And another thing is money management. When I first started, I never managed my money. Like, I was spending left to right. In 2021, you know, the freight was so good, I thought it would never end. I was very naive to how market cycles work. And then towards 2022, the end of 2022, 2023, I struggled so bad. I thought I was gonna go out of business. I had no hope for myself. I was so stressed out. Man, I even grew a whole bunch of white hairs. I don't know if I can see them, but my wife always tells me that every time I go home, I have more white hairs. And that's from all the stress that this freaking business has caused me. I'm 32 right now, you know, probably look way older than that, just from all the stress that I have had to endure these past few years. You don't know what you're doing, especially if you don't know how to run a business. That's the main thing you have to learn as the owner operator, is how to properly run and manage a business. How do finances work? How does taxes work? there's so much that goes into it. And a lot of people, a lot of mega carriers, like I said, they sell you this dream, but as a naive truck driver that has had no financial literacy in the past, comes in and within a few years they end up dropping out. There is a reason why 90% of owner-operators fail, which, you know, we can blame a bunch of things, blame the president, the economy, just the industry. You can blame whoever you want. But at the end of it all comes down to you, how you're running the business. Because whether the economy is good or bad, there are always going to be owner-operators that are going to be succeeding. And there is a reason for that. And the reason is how they manage their money in the good times, because that's going to dictate how they do during the bad times. And when I did back in 2021, when the times were good and I didn't know what the heck I was doing, that could have completely put me out of business in 2023. By the grace of God, I'm still here surviving in this horrible economy that we are currently experiencing. But it is possible to become successful as an owner-operator, and that starts with managing your finances, knowing how money works, and knowing how to run a business. The cost per mile is extremely important. The cost per mile of your business. So the cost per mile before I paid off, I haven't looked at the numbers, but before I paid off the truck, it is an older truck, 2016 Freightliner Cascadia, before I paid it off, the cost per mile to run my business with no breakdowns, so on a good month, it is $1.25. That is extremely low. Most companies out there, most owner-operators, they would wish they could have a cost per mile of $1.25. So they are struggling because their cost per mile is probably like around $2, possibly even more. So they are having a hard time surviving in this economy because the rates are just not that good. Depending where you go, depending where you're at, they have to plan accordingly. If not, they're gonna get stuck hauling horrible rates, and it just be a matter of time before they end up failing. So my cost per mile is $1.25. So meaning that I'm able to haul cheaper loads. And by the way, everybody that gets mad for whoever's hauling the cheaper loads, it's me. I'm hauling the cheaper loads because guess what? I'm going to survive during this horrible economy. I don't need nobody to tell me how to run my business. So whether I haul a $2 load or whether I haul a $1.50 load, I'm still going to keep surviving. Because you know what? I got a family to feed. I got lights to keep on. So I don't care. You can get mad at me. You can get mad at whoever. I don't care. But if you have been wondering who's hauling this cheap freight, it is me. So fight me. Come fight me. See me at the truck stop. Let's throw some hands. See who's really about it. But anyways, $1.25 to properly run my trucking business. Like I said, that was before I paid off the truck. Now that I have paid it off, you know, that drops it down pretty good amount because I was paying $1,500 a month. So one of these days I'm going to look at the numbers, but it's going to be around the dollar mark. I probably would say less. So it is extremely important that you pay off your equipment as fast as possible. So right now I am renting a trailer and I want to purchase my own. So that's going to be my next step in the business and trying to grow as an owner-operator, is to buy my own trailer. So I just need a few months to save up money, or might go to a bank and ask for a loan. So we'll see what happens, because since I paid off the truck, I have more freedom and I'm able to do a little bit more things as far as the title goes. Asking for a loan, I can use the truck as a collateral, so banks are going to want to give me a loan. So let's see what ends up happening here in the next few weeks. But I am so happy and so excited that this truck is finally paid off. Oh yeah, here's the caveat. In 2023, just like everybody, went through hard times. I wasn't the exception. There's like 3 or 4 times that I almost quit. I almost got out. And this was before I finished paying off the truck. I still had around $10,000 left to pay. You know, I was ready to give up. I wanted to return the truck, and you know, I'm just like, how how can I pay off this truck now just in case I decide to get out? Because I didn't have the money. 10 grand is a lot of money. I didn't have the resources to pay it off. So what ended up happening is I ended up having to borrow the money from a family member. So this truck's actually been paid off for about a year. Yeah, it's been about a year. But I still owed my family members money. So in reality, even though I did have the title to a truck, in reality, I didn't feel like I had finally paid it off until I paid off back my family members. That's another thing about being an owner operator. If you are a horrible person in general, you know, you're not going to succeed as the owner operator, because you are not going to be able to build up the relationships that are necessary to exceed in this industry. If you are, you know, a person of your word, pay off your debts and things of that nature, chances are higher that you are going to succeed. Because if you come into financial troubles and you are asking for money, nobody's gonna want to let you borrow money if you have a bad track record of never paying off your debts. So with my family members, I've never had to ask them for money, but they know that I am a law-abiding citizen per se. You know, I'm an upstanding person. You know, I've never done anybody dirty. You know, I'm not a snake. I'm not out here to see who I can undercut. So I came for help to them. Like, hey, can I borrow? I needed 10 grand, and they said yes. You know, not automatically, but it didn't take very long for them to say, okay, yeah, we'll let you borrow the money. And last month was finally when I paid them back off. You know, I'm so happy, so relieved. No truck payment. It is a weight that has been taken off my shoulders, a burden that has been just following me around for the last 4 years. If you are a truck driver and you want to become an owner operator, I'm telling you, the best thing you can do for yourself is just pay off the truck as fast as possible. You have to put off your needs and wants, you know, into the future, because, you know, as soon as you going from truck driver to owner operator, your income is going to double almost automatically, depending what kind of truck you get. Because, you know, a lot of trucks are pretty expensive nowadays, especially the newer trucks. So my truck's 8-year-old, so that's why the truck payments were low. So depending on what kind of truck, you're probably looking at $2,500 to $3,000 monthly payments, which is a lot. And then that kills all your profit margins, and that kills how you are going to be able to run your business. But yeah, guys, thank y'all so much for watching. I'll see you on the next one. You know, have you done a lease purchase program? Have you failed? Have you succeeded? Majority of people, I mean, it's everywhere. They are not set up for you to succeed as an owner operator doing a lease purchase program. But there are good ones. It is stressful. It is hard. You have to put your mind into it.